Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. And I'm back in Sweet Home, Alabama. I'm driving into Alabama from Interstate 59 southbound. And by the way, this is a very nice drive if your travels take you between Chattanooga and Birmingham. Anyway, I'm going to start this video by stopping at the Welcome Center. I think this is my thing now, stopping at the Alabama Welcome Centers. This particular Welcome Center kind of reminds me of a Cracker Barrel, with the brown colors on the covered porch. You know, I love some chicken and dumplings right now. Also, here's a sculpture of a large deer leaping through the forest. Lots of these large deer live in the area. This is kind of cute. This is a tree stump with what looks like a teeny tiny house on top of it. It's also decorated with little flowers. And look at the little gnome statues at the base of the tree trunk, with the flag that says, "Welcome Gnome." This is the 4th Alabama Welcome Center I visited, and all of them have this large marker that reads, "Alabama, we dare defend our rights." This really does look like the front porch of a Cracker Barrel. Unfortunately, they don't sell a country boy breakfast here, but they do have this interesting water feature. This Welcome Center was opened back in 1983. Quickly doing a scan of all the picnic tables in this area, and no one is using them. But if they have food trucks here selling Alabama favorites, these would be packed. I wanted to try out this cheap coffee or hot chocolate to see if it tasted good, but unfortunately it's out of order. Alright, I'm continuing my journey southbound, and the road is under construction. They're removing a lane. I guess they're going to repave it. This stretch of highway hardly has any traffic on it. I'm going to stop for some breakfast in Fort Payne, Alabama. I've been here before. For Mufflin fanatics, here is a prospector statue at a furniture store, and a very familiar country music band was started right here in Fort Payne. In a previous video I showed you this. But since I was stopped here, I might as well return to this impressive set of sculptures for the band in Alabama. I'm not a country music fan, but this is cool. The band members seen here are guitarist Jeff Cook and Randy Owen, bassist Teddy Gentry, and drummer Mark Herndon. Cook, Owen, and Gentry are cousins that were born and raised here. Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome everyone! Today I'll be taking another road trip through Alabama. I'll see some covered bridges, then visit the city of Birmingham. Then I'm hoping to take a little train ride. It's gonna be an awesome day. Let's go! Upon post-research, I learned Jeff Cook passed away last November due to complications from Parkinson's disease. He was 73. One of Cook's last solo albums featured a collaboration with William Shatner. Yep, Captain Kirk. That's so awesome. I have to listen to that. So let's check out a map of Alabama to see where I'm going today. I started at the green star at the top right of the screen, then stopped at Fort Payne. I'm heading southwest toward Black County. Then I'll go to Birmingham and stop by a national landmark. Then it's on to Opelika to see an interesting park. Then to Auburn to see a brand new business in town. And finally leave the state at Phenix City across the river from Columbus, Georgia. My first few stops will be in Black County. Black County is known as the covered bridge capital of Alabama, and we're going to see 3 covered bridges, and one of them is still open to vehicular traffic. A little north of the town of Oneonta, off Highway 75, is the first covered bridge I'll see today. This is the Horton Mill-Covered Bridge. It was built in 1934 and spans 220 feet, crossing the Calvert Prong of the Little Warrior River. This map shows where I am in relation to the other covered bridges I'll see in Buc County. Also on the bottom right, it shows where in Alabama I am right now. I'm at the top right corner of the county. Then I'll head down to the next one, the Easley Covered Bridge, to the west of Oneonta. Then the last one will be the Swann Covered Bridge near the town of Cleveland. This is the first covered bridge listed in the southeastern U.S. to be added to the National Register of Historic Places. It's the highest covered bridge over any tributary in the United States, going 70 feet above the waterway. Although this bridge is still maintained by the Alabama Department of Transportation, this bridge no longer allows vehicular traffic as of April 2022. Here's a nice view of the river below. I guess it's better classified as a creek. It's very beautiful here, very peaceful. This bridge replaces an earlier span that was built in 1894 and named for Thurman Horton. Now I've reached the other side, and this road is much more quiet than Highway 75 on the other side. Here's the sign, bridge closed, pedestrian traffic only. Take a look at the waterway below. That is a really long way down. Back to Thurman Horton, he helped construct the original bridge. Looking at the Calvert Prong one more time. As for the current bridge, one of his descendants, Talmadge Horton, helped build this replacement bridge. It took about 18 months to complete. You see the cameras inside the bridge. There have been problems with graffiti over the years. That's pretty helpful, people wanting to deface this bridge. And here I am back on the other side. Notice those big boulders placed here to prevent vehicles from crossing. The crew that built this bridge in 1934 also built the other two covered bridges in this county. The National Historic Covered Bridge and Preservation Program restored this and two other covered bridges in the county from 2011 to 2013. This was the last bridge to complete renovations due to the high elevation. Another look at how high up this bridge is, and interesting it took longer to renovate it than to build it originally. This bridge was also featured on the seal of the Blount Oneonta Chamber of Commerce. Alright, let's move on to the next covered bridge in this county. Now in the community of Rosa, which is a few miles west of Oneonta. The second covered bridge I'll see in this county is not far down this road, probably about a mile or so. It's just ahead. It shows the bridge has an 8-foot vertical and 9-foot horizontal clearance, so this bridge won't handle large vehicles. Here's the Easley Covered Bridge, just ahead. It only supports a single lane of traffic, so oncoming traffic has to wait until the other direction of traffic has cleared the bridge. This bridge has a number of cameras too. Alright, let's drive through this bridge. I think it's the first time I've actually driven through one of these bridges. The Easley covered bridge was constructed in 1927, so just about 100 years ago. While there are no vehicles going by, I'm going to walk through the bridge to the other side. As you can see, there is no room for both pedestrians and vehicles at the same time. Now back on the other side, lots of cameras watching us, and that's because of the graffiti vandalism on this bridge, as well as the last bridge I saw. This is a much smaller bridge. The length is just 95 feet and only 9 feet above the small tributary down there. The bridge was closed in 2009 because it was unsafe to cross. However, in 2011 and 2012, the bridge received structural repairs and a new tin roof. This bridge is also on the National Registry of Historic Places, as well as the Alabama Register of Landmarks and Heritage. Now I'm going back to the other side, but I'm not going to stop and look at one of the sides since I don't want to get run over by a car. I wonder if they'll close this bridge to vehicular traffic soon, like they did for the other two covered bridges in this county. Alright, so that's two bridges visited in the county, and now I'm gonna head over to the third bridge. I think that one will be the longest out of the three, so let's head over there. Now the small town of Cleveland, Alabama. Apparently quite a few states have a city named Cleveland. In addition to the well-known city of Cleveland, Ohio, not far from where I live in Georgia, there's a city named Cleveland. And also just northeast of Chattanooga, Tennessee, is another city named Cleveland. Anyway, the next bridge is ahead. Last year this bridge was closed to vehicles, so I have to walk about a quarter mile to get there. I guess I'm gonna get my exercise today. Here's a small wooden crossing here. I see why they closed the road back here. The small bridge is probably not in the best condition. Luckily this road is all downhill, well, luckily until I have to walk back to the car. But here's the covered bridge down here, and I can definitely hear the river down below. Oh wow, check this out. This is definitely the longest of the three bridges. This is the Swann covered bridge, and the river down there is named Locust Fork. It's really nice here. The Swann covered bridge is 324 feet long and crosses 13 feet above Locust Fork. I bet the view from this bridge is really nice since the river is pretty wide. Oh yeah, this is looking south. This is really nice. I bet this is gorgeous in the fall. Maybe I should plan to drive here in October and see the leaves. Look at this. In the distance is the gorge. Look at the walls along the river. Wow, I didn't even know this was here. I thought the river was going to be small, but this is impressive. Now on the other side of the bridge, you can see the cameras installed here as well. Same reason as before, because people want to spray paint graffiti on the bridge. The Swann covered bridge, also known as the Joy covered bridge, was constructed in 1933 and restored in 2012. And here it is at the top left of your screen. Now the shores of the river, and you can really tell how long the bridge is. And it's amazing the bridge was sturdy enough to carry vehicles up until last year. They had two notable vehicle accidents recently. One in 2018 when an SUV crashed into the entrance I just walked through, and another in 2021 where a truck hit the ceiling of the bridge. Taking one more look at this impressive view from both sides of the bridge before I leave. This is really great. Put this on your list of places to go. And especially in this direction, this is an amazing view of the gorge. I have to say this is the best bridge out of the three. If I had to pick one to see again, it would be this one. And it would be during the fall leaf season. With the type of trees here and the moisture from the river, I bet the leaf color is absolutely beautiful in the fall. But I see why they had to close the road, especially with those two recent accidents. The curve here is downhill, and I definitely see vehicles crashing into this bridge. I will see one more covered bridge, but not nearly as great as the ones in Buc County. So let's go see something completely different, like an abandoned interstate highway construction site. I'm on a side road near Highway 79, about half an hour north of Birmingham, and this is an off-ramp for what is planned to be Interstate 422, which will be a northern loop around Birmingham. Back in the mid-2010s, they cleared and graded a 1.5 mile stretch ending here, but they haven't done anything since 2016, so it just looks like they kinda abandoned this construction project. It looks like starting in the near future, the state received $500 million to complete the original 1.5 mile stretch, and then go about 10 more miles westward to almost Interstate 65. So it looks like this highway is about to become unabandoned soon. Oh, and while we were there, someone across the street was yelling at us, telling us we can't film that abandoned highway. So I'm not on this guy's property. I'm in the grass of the road, still not on his property, but he's yelling and screaming at us. Okay, whatever you say, bud. Anyway, this is where Interstate 422 will cross this highway, and they widened this road as part of the project from the mid-2010s. I'm probably a mile or two east of downtown Birmingham, and I've arrived at Sloss Furnace's National Historic Landmark. This was a large iron and steel production facility which pioneered blast furnaces back in the early 20th century. But I'm going to show you that in a future video. Since this is operated by the National Park Service, there are filming rules I must abide by. Plus, I've filmed so much and the backstory and history are so interesting, it really deserves its own video. And there's so much touring Sloss Furnaces, and it's really neat to walk through this gigantic facility where they created something called pig iron, which pretty much turned Birmingham into a major city. So please give me some time to put all the footage together and be compliant with the National Park Service rules on filming, and I promise I'll be worth the wait. But for this video, let's head on south to my next stop. About 2 hours later, I've arrived in the city of Opelika at Municipal Park. This is a large park with the typical amenities such as playgrounds, picnic tables, and whatnot, but they also have this little train that runs around the park perimeter. It's called the Rocky Brook Rocket, and has been here since the park opened in the 1950s. It costs just $1 to ride the train, so today I'm going to take a ride on this locomotive. Here are the rules: remain seated at all times and stay inside the train. Keep hands and feet inside the train. No chasing the train. Children under 6 must be accompanied by an adult. No food and drink, and rule breakers have to leave the park. Normally this train is for small children, but as you saw, adults ride it too. And best of all, no crappy Disney Genie Minus required. Just getting underway, I think the train only goes about the speed of someone walking, maybe just a little bit faster. But this is, an experience. In 2023, the train is only scheduled to run 6 days over the entire year, twice in May, June, and September. The train rides operate on those days from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and cost $1 per person. The train makes 2 revolutions around the park. My mom had declined to ride the train. She cited some excuse like maternal privilege or something like that. The train is stored in this structure when not operating. The ride only lasts a few minutes. It was kind of cool. The park is also known as Monkey Park. When this park first opened, they added the train, and then they added 8 monkeys. Those monkeys were moved to the Montgomery Zoo in 1980. I'm not sure if the monkeys were caged, but this marker mentions this park had a special area which included a small habitat similar to what you see in a city zoo. This monkey statue was created as a monument, so I wonder if the cages were meant to prevent vandals from defacing the statue. I had to give the train a shot. Right next to the park is the Opelika Recreation Center. Today someone rented it out for a wedding and reception. Leading to that recreation center is the fourth covered bridge I'll see on today's trip. This is the Salem Shotwell covered bridge. It was constructed around the year 1900 at its original location over Buc-ee Creek. At the time it was 77 feet long. In 2005, during a bad storm, a tree fell on the bridge, which caused it to collapse into the creek. The bridge was reassembled and relocated here in 2007. Today this bridge crosses Rocky Brook, and to accommodate the smaller creek, the length of the bridge had to be shortened to 43 feet. Here's the year 1900, when the bridge was built, and 2007, when the bridge was rebuilt at this location. Here's the tributary down there, not a very large body of water. And here's the other side. Built in 1900 by Otto Pulse and reconstructed here in 2007 by the Opelika Kiwanis Club and the community. The bridge is maintained by the city. And over here, this is a millstone that was in a grist mill operated along Sweetwater Creek from 1919 to 1947 and donated by H.S. Bentz. The horseshoe imprints in the concrete sidewalk is a nice touch. Check out those poles in front of the bridge. They prevent vehicles from attempting to drive through the bridge, and they also make for nice decorations. The name Salem Shotwell came from the two communities that the bridge connected, Salem and Shotwell. This is the only historic covered bridge still standing in southeastern Alabama. I'm very hungry right now because we skipped right through lunch so we could see the train on time. Luckily, in nearby Auburn, there's a brand new Buc-ee's, its 4th Alabama location. First things first, before we get gas, we absolutely have to get something to eat. I'm pretty sure they'll have the same food like brisket sandwiches and beaver nuggets. Yep, looks mighty familiar. The red pickup truck with all the Buc-ee's plush toys. And of course, since this is my first visit to this location, I have to buy myself a special shirt with the city name on it. It's a nice blue color too. This is the 22nd Buc-ee's location I visited, nearly half of all the Buc-ee's locations across the country. And they must definitely have their famous brisket sandwiches. I prefer the sliced brisket over the chopped. I think the sliced brisket has less of a sweet sauce. It's very busy and it's in an excellent location near Auburn University. They will sell so much beer and wine here. In addition to the brisket sandwich, we got a club sandwich which was made to order, some giant tubs of soda, and chicken tenders, also ordered from their kiosk. Now that we've eaten it and used their world's cleanest bathrooms, it's time to get some fuel. Current price, a low of $2.86 a gallon. I haven't seen gas that low in quite a while, so my car is getting a full tank of petroleum goodness. I'm kind of surprised with how busy the inside of the store is that there's so many fueling positions open. The closest location to me in Calhoun, Georgia is always busy at the fuel pumps. One last thing to do is pose with my new shirt in front of the giant Buc-ee's sign. This location is off Interstate 85 at exit 50. You can't miss it. Anyway, time to head to my final stop. The last stop is in Phenix City, Alabama, which is located along the Chattahoochee River. They've done a lot of beautifying the Riverwalk area. Across the river is Columbus, Georgia, where I can see that there's new construction going on. This marker says this is the Frank K. Martin Pedestrian Bridge, which opened in 2013. Martin was the former mayor of Columbus. What's interesting about the state line between Georgia and Alabama, usually the middle of the river would be the state line, but in this case the entire river is in the state of Georgia, so once you leave the Alabama shoreline, you're in Georgia. And there's a bunch of drunk Generation Xers going by on this pedal bar. This is the Chattahoochee River. It starts just north of Helen, Georgia, goes through Atlanta and Columbus, and ends up at the Apalachicola River in Florida. So I guess I'm officially in Georgia, since I'm standing over the water right now. I think it's been over a year since I've been here, when I saw the graveside of the inventor of Coca-Cola. On the other side, the water is much more calm. I think the elevation is more level north of this bridge. Look at these two turtles swimming on the side. They're just hanging out here, enjoying the beautiful day, just like I am.
And that's it, now that I've crossed back into Georgia. It's been a very, very long day, and I got to see some new things in Alabama. It's kind of windy and I forgot my microphone. Look like I'm about ready to do like an interview on the news station. What do you have to say about this? I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!